Hi, my name is Jessy Schram, and I'm the next guest on Screen and Beyond.
On Screen and Beyond, an inside look into the entertainment world featuring interviews with people from the movie, TV, and music industry, news on upcoming TV and DVD releases, and the rumor mill. And now, here's the host of On Screen and Beyond, Brian Zemrak.
Welcome back to another edition of On Screen and Beyond. I'm your host, Brian Zemrak. This is episode 228 of On Screen and Beyond, the weekly show that keeps you updated on what's coming away as far as new movies, remakes, sequels, and TV and movie DVD releases, as well as our interview segment with a guest from the movie, TV, or music industry. Well, all the new TV shows are starting, and we've got a lot of those stars coming here to On Screen and Beyond to talk about their shows. Last week we had one. This week, Jessy Schram is going to be joining us. Now, Jessy is all over the TV, and it's unbelievable the amount of shows that she's in. In fact, this weekend, today, in fact, Hallmark was showing all her old TV movies that she was in, which was the Jane Doe series with Leah Thompson. And, of course, Leah Thompson was a guest here on Screen and Beyond about a year or so ago, and we're going to feature her interview. And Jessy, in fact, like I said, is in those Jane Doe series movies, and she is Karen in Falling Skies on TNT. She is Cinderella in the ABC TV hit, which is, of course, is Once Upon a Time. And she is also going to be in the ABC show Last Resort, which looks like a really good show. And that's coming up on September 27th at 8 o'clock on ABC, so be sure to check that out. Anyways, Jessy's going to be joining us, and we're going to talk about all those things. She's a fascinating person, and it's coming up in just a few minutes right here on Screen and Beyond. So we have a lot of information for you this week, and we're going to start out with Remake Madness. It's coming up next right here on Screen and Beyond.
Please hang up and try again.
Remake Madness. Well, rumors are out that a remake of 1991's Rocketeer may be headed our way from Disney. And Clint Eastwood is heading the remake of A Star is Born. And, of course, there's been quite a few versions of that story over the years. And originally in 1937, and notably the Barbra Streisand and Kris Kristofferson version of that. And Beyonce is going to be starring in this one. And a remake of David Cronenberg's Videodrome is in the works with director Adam Berg in the command seat. And that is it for Remake Madness. Coming up next on Screen and Beyond, what's coming away as far as upcoming new movies. Upcoming new movies, well, a new movie on the life of Pontius Pilate may be in the works over at Warner Brothers. And Shia LaBeouf will star in an erotic drama called Nymphomaniac. And the film also stars Nicole Kidman. Jason Statham, James Franco, and Winona Ryder will headline the film Homefront. Statham will play an ex-DEA agent, and Franco plays a meth kingpin. That's it for upcoming new movies. Next on Screen and Beyond, we're going to take a peek at what's coming your way as far as sequels down at Sequel City. It's next, right here on Screen and Beyond. Sequel City, well, Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan will be part of Scary Movie 5 as the insanity continues in the franchise. And The Expendables 3 is in the works, but Chuck Norris says he's done, and he won't be in another outing of the series. And Finding Nemo 2 will bring back Ellen DeGeneres as a fish once again. That's it for Sequel City. Coming up next on Screen and Beyond, what's coming away as far as TV on DVD? We've got it next, right here on Screen and Beyond. TV on DVD, well, we got some good collections coming your way. The 30th anniversary limited edition of Cagney and Lacey, the complete series, lands on DVD on October 16th. And on November 13th, look for Lionsgate to bring us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the complete classic series collection. And Touched by an Angel, the 6th season, will come your way on DVD on September 25th. That's it for TV on DVD. Coming up next on Screen and Beyond, we'll take a peek at what's coming away as far as movies on DVD. Movies on DVD, well, a Blu-ray version of the classic Billy Wilder film Sunset Boulevard will arrive in November, and look for Brave as it heads our way on DVD and Blu-ray on November 13th from Disney and Pixar. And in 1971, the Western comedy Something Big came our way with Dean Martin and Brian Keith, and now it's coming to DVD on October 9th. That is it for Movies on DVD. Coming up next on Screen and Beyond, we are going to have a great guest coming your way. Jessy Schram is coming our way, and she's going to be talking about all the TV shows she's on. She is so busy. It is unreal. She is just on all these hit shows, and she's going to talk about that. She's coming our way from Hawaii as she is down there filming the TV show Last Resort, which premieres on September 27th at 8 o'clock on ABC. Looks like a good show. I hope you're going to check it out, because I will be. And Jessy's next, right here on Screen and Beyond. Today on Screen and Beyond, my guest has played Cinderella in the popular ABC show Once Upon a Time. She fights aliens on TNT's Falling Skies, and on September 27th at 8 o'clock, she plays the wife of a naval officer who is on the run in a nuclear submarine on ABC's Last Resort. It's Jessy Schram. Jessy, it's so nice of you to join us here on Screen and Beyond.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Jessy, 2 hit shows and a new one that looks very intriguing. It's like you're doing a hat trick in hockey or the Triple Crown or a three-peat or whatever. And, you got a great streak going here.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. I've definitely been doing some cartwheels.
I can see why. There's a lot to talk about here because you're not very old. I don't want to, and you've done a lot of different things.
This is true. This is true. Just from that little introduction, I'm like, wow, that sounds great.
Yeah, and that's just the most recent stuff.
Yeah, you've got the last 6 months.
Right. Gee. Well, let's start off with talking about. Let me see. What are we going to start with here? And anything you want in particular you want to start with?
Anything is great. I'm out here right now in Honolulu filming Last Resort, so that's something that we're gearing up for and getting really excited about.
I am sure. So we talked earlier, and I had asked you, this is your first time basically in Hawaii?
Well, we filmed the pilot here over earlier this year, and that was my first time ever in Hawaii, and now we've relocated here and are doing the show here.
That's too bad, huh?
I know. It's a really difficult place. Really depressing, gray skies.
Yeah. But I've been to Hawaii many times, and doesn't it get... I'm used to 4 seasons, so when you're in Hawaii, it's like, okay, you get up today, it's sunny again, okay.
Yeah, well, I was trained by living in Los Angeles for a little bit. I'm originally from Chicago, so you've got the 4 seasons there, and you can imagine the winters and all of that good stuff. And waking up all the time in Los Angeles, I realized I was exhausted because every day it was sunny, which meant every day I needed to be outside doing something. So here now in Hawaii, you've got a little bit of the tropical vibe, and everyone's just kind of going, chill out. It's all good.
Yeah. Now, being in Hawaii, do you get a chance to see any of the sights, or are you just working so much that you don't have a chance to do anything?
Oh, I definitely do. Whenever I'm traveling anywhere, relocated for something, I definitely make it a point, no matter what, to get out and see some of the things that the city is known for, or mainly find a lot of local places. So since being here, I've been blessed to have a good amount of time off to have my mom fly out and do some tourist stuff, but at the same time just ride your bike around and find a really beautiful beach. So I've definitely been taking in the scenery, and where we're shooting too really is quite beautiful, and it's its own tourist trap in the sense that you don't see anything like it anywhere else. So our job is pretty much a beautiful location.
Have you been to Hanauma Bay?
I have. You got to go to Hanauma Bay.
Oh, yeah. Were there a lot of fish at that time? Sometimes there's not a lot, and sometimes there are.
When I went to the side where no one else was, and I got to see a lot of rainbow fish with, like, the big lips, but I missed the turtles that were on the other side of the island. So.
Any eels? Do you ever see any the moray eels?
I haven't seen any eels, no.
We were out swimming, out in the coral, and a moray eel was out there. So that was a little shocking.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely be shocked by that one.
But anyways, let's get into Last Resort, because we started with that. You're in Hawaii.
Yes.
How did you get the part on Last Resort? Is something that you had to audition for, or did somebody have their eye on you because of the other shows you were on, or how did that work?
No, I did audition for it. I think definitely being on the other shows always helps open up doors a little bit. But I had just finished filming the finale for Falling Skies and was on the plane and had about 3 or 4 pilot scripts that they had sent to me to audition for the next day, and I told them I would only do one. So I read all the pilots, and out of all of them, Last Resort, just besides Alone, the part of Christine really drew me in. It was something that I read it and it just felt right. It just felt really, really good. I connected with the character, and also the show is so epic. Is so epic in its own sense of being so big and massive, but at the same time really, really having a romance to it, and everyone, in a certain sense, is searching for truth and the integrity of who you are when put in an extraordinary situation. So there's so many relationships in this story, and at the same time, this broad overview of the possible World War III that really plays into it. So I personally loved Last Resort only because I connected to it the second that I read my character.
Yeah, I know. Just seeing the commercials on TV, it was like when I saw that, I said, "Wow, that looks like a good show."
Yes, but I did have to prove myself. I did have to go to the auditions, and I was blessed enough to get hired right away. They kind of needed me through the tropical storms, and I was sent through.
So how many episodes did they get? Did they get a full 20 episodes, or is it 13 episodes?
No, we had the first 13, and then if the show gets a good response, then we get the back 9. So hopefully we'll have a very full season, but we find out later in the year if that happens.
Yeah, that would be great to see, because like I say, when I first saw the commercials, it was like, okay, this is something I'm going to watch.
Oh, yeah, and a lot of the time I feel like trailers get you excited for something, but then the final product is just, This is something where the final product beats the trailer.
Yeah. Now, is your character, I know you're playing the officer's wife.
Yes.
Are you in it a lot?
I am. In the pilot, I say I'm more there in spirit in certain ways, but I am. I'm connected mainly because I'm a lot of his heart. Sam Kendall is my husband in the show, but who's played by Scott Steven. And I'm the family back home. I'm the reason why you want to get home. And it's a very personal relationship, and so I am in it a lot more than people will think I am.
Yeah. Now, being on Last Resort,
yes.
Falling Skies, you're going to continue with both, or how does that work?
Well, right now I'm married to Falling Skies. That's the first priority, and I think that if Falling Skies can use me in certain storylines to help move that story forward, that you'll be seeing more of Karen. But I keep saying, Karen's alive, so we'll leave all of the spoilers at that.
But nowadays you can die and you can still be coming back.
You know what? That's very true. That's very, very true. Ghosts, flashbacks, it's all possible.
Oh, yeah.
Reincarnation, it's all there.
Yeah. Now, what about Once Upon a Time? Is that any chance Cinderella's going to go back on there?
That's another one. All of us are sitting pretty in Storybrooke. No one can leave. Season 2, they're definitely introducing so many characters like they did in Season 1, and if the storyline permits for Cinderella to come back, or if it makes sense, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, playing Cinderella. I mean, a lot of girls growing up, they go to Disneyland or Disney World and they see Cinderella and they want to be Cinderella and they buy the dress. And here you are on the TV show and you're wearing those dresses and you're acting it out. How was it playing Cinderella?
It was fantastic. It was surreal in so many ways. Playing this Cinderella is really fun because there are no happy endings in this story. Right. So we're really seeing what happened before and during her life, and we got to create a person as opposed to a story, and that's one of the reasons why it was so neat to play Cinderella. But definitely putting on those gowns and not being able to look at your feet, otherwise you'll trip on yourself. It was beautiful, and it was fantastic, and it really helped transform you and bring you to another place. So being an actor in those costumes and in those situations and those storylines, I got to play a Cinder Girl, I got to play a princess, and I got to talk with Rumpelstiltskin, and that's normal on that set. So it was really fun. It was really fun.
And the actor that plays Rumpelstiltskin, he's just so creepy.
Oh, Robert Carlyle, he's magic. He's magical.
Oh, yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, it's a great cast. They do a great job on that show.
Oh, yeah. It's very, very talented, very genuine, and quality is what Once Upon a Time brings. It's great.
Yeah. Now, we're jumping around between these three shows because they're
yes.
all current shows. So, Falling Skies, that show, I mean, I enjoy that show a lot. How is it working with Noah Wiley?
Oh, he's fantastic. He's a very, very smart actor in person, and really, really kind, and he's a very giving actor. So it's been really fun. I've learned so much from him, and he's just so intelligent. I really enjoy him. But he holds that show on his shoulders in a lot of different ways, and it's great working with Noah.
Yeah, and Will Patton, he's such a great actor. Anyways, he's done so many other things that.
Yes, Will Patton. I admire him so much. Everyone on the cast is someone that I admire and I respect so much, and Will for sure is someone that you stand around and you feel his presence, and it's in the best way, and it makes you bring your A game in a lot of different ways and come to a certain space in that scene that you might not have been in before, just because he has a certain presence and way of going about things and a respect.
Yeah. With Last Resort, you're suffering in Hawaii. Where is Falling Skies filmed? In a studio
Falling
lot?
Skies and Once Upon a Time are both up in Vancouver.
In Vancouver, okay.
Yeah. Originally, Falling Skies was Toronto the first season, and the second it was Vancouver.
And all taking place in Massachusetts, right? On the show?
Yes. Yes, that's what you meant. So sorry. And Last Resort isn't in Hawaii. I'm actually in Maryland when I'm playing my character.
Okay,
so.
It gets confusing, but
so we just film there. But wherever I say we actually are, we're not.
Right. So, with Falling Skies and Once Upon a Time, are both of those shows that you had to audition for also, or?
Yes, everything pretty much that I've done, I've auditioned for. Falling Skies was something that came around that originally I remember I wasn't going to because I was deciding on something else. It was actually the first offer I'd ever gotten, but just to audition for it, I had to turn down the audition for this miniseries. And because it was a Spielberg and TNT project, it was DreamWorks and TNT, and written by Bob Rodat, and everything about it was just really neat. I was excited about the opportunity to ride dirt bikes and play a character that wasn't basically Google-eyed about a guy. It was about surviving, and it was about being a warrior, and obviously relations come into that. But so that was one that I had to turn down something else just to even audition for it, and it kept going further, and I was surprised every time it did. And Once Upon a Time, that was also an audition as well that went further. And Last Resort, I had auditioned for that when I had gotten back right away, and over the weekend they were deciding, and I got called on Monday and seeing if I could fly out, in an hour to be in Hawaii and film all my stuff. So everything has been a great experience and also nerve-wracking too at the same time.
You've had so many good shows that you've been on lately, and of course you've been on some good stuff in the past too, but
yes.
With these shows here, do you still get excited when you get a part, or is it, okay, yeah, I got another part?
No, there'll always be little tears in the eyes of excitement that I got a part. Sometimes it's relief, only because you've gone so far and you've invested so much and you've just been waiting to hear. So a lot of the time it's like relief washes over you when you've gotten something. But really, I think every job that I've gotten, there's always been this little sense of amazement and excitement and also fear at the same time, because now you've gotten the job, now you've got to deliver. So my mind very much goes to, all right, well, now it's time for the job. The excitement only lasts for so long, and now it's time to work. So, but it's always excitement, and I'm always very grateful and always very surprised. No matter how hard I've worked, it's always a surprise, and it's always great news to hear that you've booked something, right, especially a part that you want.
Yeah. Now, September 27th, Last Resort is going to premiere. I'm not sure which night that is. I don't know if that's a...
Oh, that's on Thursdays at 8 o'clock.
Thursday. Will it always be, is that the scheduled time that it's going to be on Thursday?
Yes, as far as I know, that is our spot.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's always the the preempting, and then hopefully they won't start juggling it around, because that's the kiss of death to any show when they start doing that.
Right. I'm thinking, to tell you the truth, right now, Thursdays at 8 o'clock is our home. So
great.
We're putting our stake down, we're putting our flag, and that's our house. Now, until they tell us otherwise.
Right. Now, have you always wanted to be an actress?
Yeah, I have. I've always wanted to be a performer or an entertainer of some sort, or teach in some kind of way. So when I was younger, I used to perform. I used to sing in front of everyone and dance and acting. I got into the business of acting maybe when I was around 10 or 11 and started in commercials in Chicago. And I did a thing called American View Girls Review downtown Chicago, and kind of started getting into the music scene during high school, and then moved to Los Angeles right after high school. And then there is when the career had started with television and movies, and then that's when it's like, oh, I'm an actor. But I think from a young age, I've always enjoyed entertaining or performing, or, like I said, teaching in some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wanted to touch on just two. I mean, there's so many other shows you've done, but there's two of them that in particular jumped out at me. One of your earlier ones was the Jane Doe movies.
Yes, that was my first job out in L.A. once I moved.
Yeah, Leah Thompson has been a guest here on Screen and Beyond, and
oh yeah, she's phenomenal. I have such love for her.
Yeah, she's so nice.
Yeah, so she played my mom in Jane Doe, and that was, I think we did 6 or 8 of the 2-hour movies for Hallmark, and I played her daughter, and we've stayed really good friends through that. But that was one of my first jobs. I moved a day earlier to LA because I got that.
Wow. Now, how old were you when that happened? When those movies?
I was 18.
18. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 18.
All right. And one other one that you did, you were in the movie Unstoppable with Denzel Washington and Chris Pine. Now, how was that? I mean, Denzel Washington, he's a legend, and Chris Pine, very popular now.
Well, I mean, that movie is larger than life. You're working with Tony Scott, who's got cameras on trains miles and miles away, and helicopters where if you put your hand up, you'll get hit by it. So it's to film that was larger than life, and that was another one. You get the phone call and little tears well up because you're just so excited. And it was larger than life, the production, and everyone was very kind. Chris was amazing to work with. Unfortunately, our scene did not make it to the filming, but he was really quite great to work with. And Rosario Dawson was there, who was beautiful as well. And that was just an epic experience. It felt larger than life, and when the movie came out, it was. So
I'm sure, when they tell you you're going to be in a movie with Denzel Washington.
Oh yeah, that was one that went and came around, and yes, you're part of it, but now we're not sure if we're making it. And I mean, that's the initial pull. It's Denzel Washington. It's someone that you respect and you admire, and that you've been watching and that you study from and you learn from. So to be able to meet him and be part of a project that he's a part of is just quality.
And now, how is that? Have you gotten over being starstruck when you work with somebody like that now, or is it still? Do you still get butterflies when you meet Noah Wiley for the first time, or anybody else, Denzel, or anything like that?
I get butterflies meeting the most random people. It's really weird. You wouldn't expect it. I don't really get starstruck that much. I think Patrick Swayze, when I was doing the Jane Doe movies, is pretty much the only person that I've just been in awe over, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been blessed to meet so many people, and I've become super fans of almost everyone that I've worked with, and it's, I always get excited, and you always get a little nervous and apprehensive, but starstruck, I'd say Patrick Swayze was the one where I had met him during the Jane Doe series, and I couldn't speak. It's funny who it comes from, too, because, I would think that meeting Denzel, I would just put my head down and run the other way, but it's more of, I don't know, I just respect them so much, and it's more of an opportunity to meet someone and get to know them more as opposed to just look and goggle at them.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're going to be working with many, many, many other actors, and then sooner or later, it's going to be, I got to work with Jessy.
Oh, yeah, that'll be the day. That'll be funny. I'll always smile at that one.
Now, I want to finish up. I know we're getting down to time here. I'd like to finish up with two final questions, more on a personal note. When you get a chance, which doesn't sound like you probably do, to sit back, relax, watch TV, what are your favorite TV shows to watch, either now or in the past?
I had a mad obsession with Dexter for a while, and I love Mad Men so much. I also really love comedies, and we'll get into Two Broke Girls and Modern Family, and I'm just starting Homeland right now. I tend not to watch a lot of TV. I didn't have a TV for a while, so on Netflix, mainly because I'm on the go. But I'm a super fan of Once Upon a Time, and not just because I've been on it. So I would say that those are the select few that I watch. Otherwise, I really don't watch too much unless it's been recommended to me.
Yeah. What about movies? What are your favorite movies?
Ooh, movies. I like the Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I like a lot of comedies. So I've been watching a lot of those.
Yeah. Oh.
And also, too, a lot lately with Last Resort, been The Hunt for the Red October and a lot of stereotype movies, but also watching Airplane and just some other classics. I've got some friends that have been giving me, a lot of Rita Hayworth movies and Grace Kelly's and stuff like that. So I've just been trying to expose myself because it's very rare that I'll actually sit down and turn on a TV.
Yeah. Now, with Falling Skies and Last Resort, too, do you have to train or learn? Falling Skies, you're riding a motorcycle and you're shooting guns and, and all of that. Do you?
Yeah, well, Drew, Roy, and I did do dirt bike training. That's actually where we met when we had first started doing it. We had some dirt bike training, and then you'll get together with the cast and do gun training and learn how to do that and protect yourselves and other people. So I did learn to shoot guns and went to the shooting range on my own just to feel that. So you do research in that way, but for that it was great because we weren't trained soldiers. We were civilians that turned soldiers, so we didn't have to have all of that knowledge. But for Last Resort, it's been something where I've kind of been talking to different people and trying to learn about the ranks and how deployment works and where you move and what happens with that. So I've definitely been doing my own research and reading different wives' blogs and stuff of that sort. So mainly just for my own intrigue, but for the other reason of wanting to know what's normal and what's not, so then my reactions can be faithful to that.
Yeah. Well, Jessy, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I want everybody to be sure to watch on September 27th at 8 o'clock to see Last Resort. I'm sure it's going to be a big hit. And, of course, we'll be looking for you back on Falling Skies and maybe back on Once Upon a Time.
Yes, fingers crossed for all of the above. Thank you so much.
Big shout out going to Jessy Schram for taking the time to talk to us. She, of course, is a very versatile actress. She's on all kinds of TV shows right now, and she's going to be on the new ABC show, The Last Resort, which premieres on September 27th at 8 o'clock. Going to be a good show. Looks like a good one. And, of course, when Falling Skies comes back, she'll be fighting aliens, and Once Upon a Time on ABC comes back. Who knows? Cinderella could pop up at any time. There's always fairy tale characters showing up on that show. It's a good show, too. So, Jessy Schram, I want to thank her so much for taking the time to talk to us. She's very busy, and we appreciate it. Let's see. What else we got here? Emails. I want to thank you all for sending your emails to us, and I enjoy reading what you have to say, and I will get back to you as soon as I can, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that. Also, if you have a suggestion, send it to us at feedback@onscreenandbeyond.com. If you have a guest that you would like us to try to get, email that to us at feedback@onscreenandbeyond.com. We'll see what we can do about getting that person on. We never know who's going to be popping up here at On Screen and Beyond. We got a lot of great guests coming your way in the next few weeks that have all lined up. And just so exciting because a new season of TV shows is coming our way, and we're getting some people from those shows. And, of course, we have some guests from the past, too, that'll be coming your way. And in November, I'm going to be going down to the California Independent Film Festival, and they have asked me to host some of the interviews that we're going to be having there. I'll be on stage with some of the guests that are going to be down there, and we'll be doing some audience participation, questions, and everything else. So if you're down in that area, I'll give you some more information as it gets closer, but I'll be in California, Northern California, in November, so I hope you'll join me there. And that's about it. It's time for a wrap of this episode of On Screen and Beyond. Next week, we got another great guest coming your way, so I hope you're going to join us when we once again take you on screen and beyond. I'm Brian Zemrak. Take care.